Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with dun, dun, dun. Clarence, Duval County, what's up? The Real OV, West Early Birds, what's up? Miss Ra, Terrence Bowie, VT222, Voodoo Child 972, Car Time Automotive, Trizon Davis, what's up, Kevin German, J. Ed, Ivory, Moncarius, that's different. Monquarius, my bad. Monquarius is Monquarius Sears. Boy, that's typing in. You got to do something with a name like that. You can't just have that name and just be regular. You got to go do something great with a name like that. You know, Monquarius Sears. PYT. What's up, King Davis? Dab. Leisha Jeter. CJ. What's up, H-Town? Bruh, man. Andrea. Yvonne Williams, Birmingham in the building. A few more shout outs and then I'm going in. Tiana Scott. Preston Brooks. Money Trail. My thoughts exactly. Underground Sounds, Pasadena Sean. Bruce, what's up, Bruce Bowles? BB. Gerard Tabb, what up? What's up, Detroit? Gary Welch, Jackson, Mississippi. Adrian, what's up, AK? Mac Mitchell, Yvonne, Tall, Clarence, I'm him, Brooklyn, New York. What's up? Stand up. Joseph, what's up, Texas? Classic Family, Ebony Charade, going in. All right, fam, here we go. So as you know, let me put a pic up of Shannon Ochocinco right quick. Just in case, you know, somebody's been living under a rock. This is Shannon Sharpe. This is Chad Ochocinco. Together they have a show called Nightcap. And that show is very, very popular. Both of these guys are former NFL football stars, Hall of Famers. Did Chad get in yet? Let me check that right quick. Okay, so Chad is not in yet, but he'll get in. He'll get in. But congratulations again to Shannon Sharpe and his brother Sterling Sharpe for being the first brothers to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's big, man. That's big. It's one thing to have one child or even a family member to come into greatness in a particular discipline. But two come from the same mother. You know, two from the same mother and father. Man, that's big. That's that's really big. So shouts out to them, especially in something like football, something so competitive like football. Yeah, that's a super big deal. So, shouts out to them and their family and supporters. Uh, okay, so Shannon, he won't be part of First Take family this NFL season, which means ESPN has run out of time for finding a suitable replacement. Back in April, the Hall of Famer stepped down from his role on First Take because he was sued for sexual assault and battery in a Nevada civil court. After this lawsuit was settled in July, ESPN announced that it's moving on from Shannon Sharpe. Shannon, who was debate partners with Stephen A. Smith, admit he was upset that ESPN made the move public on the same week his brother Sterling got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He has already apologized to his brother for several times, for upstaging his moment. Everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN, Sharpe said. I found out this information a little earlier this week. The only thing I really ask is if we can wait until Monday. My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted it to be about him, and I wanted it to be about family. I just wish this thing could have waited until Monday. I wanted it to be about everything he worked his entire life for. So I wanted to read that to you guys because I want you to see what type of low down, dirty mother ESPN really are. I don't like ESPN. I do not like the executives that work there. In my opinion, they use black people, uh, you know, as you know, a circus act, and they don't have any respect for the people that work there, the black folks that work there, and they are quick to give them the axe when there is any type of any type of discrepancy or uh, perceived bad behavior. If they're going through a rough patch, ESPN do not stand by its talent like that. They will give you the axe in a heartbeat. I don't care how many hundreds of millions or billions you have to make. Once you're going through it, you out of here. Now I get it. Some of y'all gonna be like, well, Shannon brought it upon himself. Yeah, we are. Most of the bad luck that we get, we do bring upon ourselves. But still, there should be some room for moral flexibility, right? I mean, the man ain't killed nobody. You know what I'm saying? He dated a young chick. Okay, join the crowd. Uh, uh, Billions of men have done in the past, and it didn't ruin them, right? Hell, you got a dude in the office right now, in the Oval Office, making decisions for the whole world, or that impacts the whole world, but making decisions for us, at least in this country, making decisions for 300 million plus people. And we know what his background looked like. And we're talking every day, all damn day. So anybody on their high horse about this need to come on down. So shortly after ESPN announced its split with Shannon, Front Office Sports mentioned former NFL wide receiver Chad Johnson as a potential option for First Take. So, uh, here's the thought behind that, fam. Here's the thought, in my opinion. ESPN is trying to retain Shannon's audience. That's if this report is true. If it is true that they have replaced Shannon with Chad, it is because they are trying to retain Shannon's audience. without Shannon. Think about it. If they slide Chad Ochocinco in there, it might appease them when the NFL season really starts. Think about what I'm saying, fam. They're trying to retain Shannon's audience without Shannon. I mean, business-wise, smart move. Ethics-wise, they some cold-blooded, low-down, dirty mother. And this is why, if I was in Chad Ochocinco's position, which is a big if, I would not allow them to use me to punish my brother. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Now, I know some of y'all don't give a damn. Y'all like, man, that's a big opportunity, man. That's money, man. That'll put me on. It'll put me right where I want to be. No, man, no. No, man, listen to what I'm saying. If they'll do it to Shannon, who is proven, Shannon has been a proven commodity for them. Shannon has been loyal to ESPN. He's made them hundreds of millions, if not billions. And if they'll give Shannon the axe, they'll give Chad the axe also. And here's another reason why I wouldn't do it, because I wouldn't have to do it. Think about it, fam. Shannon and Chad got something special going on with that nightcap. They killing the game. 2 Hall of Fame. I got that Chad is not in there yet, but he'll be in there. So I'm calling it. I'm speaking it into existence. 2 Hall of Fame ball players talking about sports and things outside of sports, stuff that just go on in the world, man. That's popcorn worthy. People gonna be sitting and listening and watching. That's why it's so popular right now. So he gonna overall, at the end of the day, he gonna make more money working with Shannon and Nightcap and whatever other ventures that they decide to explore. He gonna end up making more money doing his own thing where he has some ownership than he would working with ESPN. And he's gonna have more freedom. He'll have more freedom. It's something they can't take away. You gotta build something that they can't take from you. You gotta have something. Now, I'm not saying you can't work with ESPN. Obviously, Shannon was working with ESPN because he knew that it was ESPN has, no matter, even though he makes a bunch of money with his club Shay Shay and Nightcap, it ain't nothing like having that ESPN visibility. That's huge. That's big. That's big. That's a big spotlight. And that's how he was able to get so many. That's how he was able to get so many people in the first place. Or was he with? When he was with Skip? Was that Fox? I think. Let's see. Let me take a look at that. Let's see, who was that? That was Fox Sports. So Fox Sports is the reason why, in association with his football career, it was the reason why Shannon was able to get so many followers so quickly on his club Shay Shay. But first and foremost, his NFL career, because without his NFL career, Fox wouldn't have had him on there. But then when he got on Fox, he got a huge audience. And he pretty much took that audience over to YouTube with him. And once he had that audience, then he did ESPN, and the audience continued to grow. Obviously, he did super big. He made a super big major play when he did the Cat Williams interview. That really took him into the stratosphere, because I think he ended up getting like a 1 or 2 million, 1.2, I mean 1.5 or 2 million subscribers off that one interview alone. So ownership is where it's at. You gotta have something they can't take away from you. And that's why Shannon was like, man, I'm okay with it. He can be okay with it when he know he got his own thing that they can't take away. And he got millions coming in from that. Yeah, he gonna be okay. I'm sure he is okay with it. But again, he still was upset with the fact that they would make that announcement prior to his brother going into the Hall of Fame, knowing that that was his brother's moment. That weekend was his brother's moment. That week was his brother's moment. And it was supposed to be all about Sterling. But when ESPN decided to fire Shannon, it became more about Shannon. It's the big story that everybody's talking about now is Shannon Sharpe. So he ends up inadvertently upstaging his brother. So, and that just goes to show you what type of people work at ESPN and upper management. They could have waited. They could have waited. All they had to wait is like 5 days, I think, some 5 or 6 days from the time that Shannon, they say, hey man, can y'all wait till Monday? All they had to do is wait until Monday. Their ass has been waited months already. They knew they was going to fire him way back when. All they had to do is wait 5 days just to honor the man's request. Even if you don't like him, you know what, man? We are a piece of organization, but just for the sake of the people who still work here, we're going to act like we care, and we're going to honor that request, and we'll make the announcement on Monday. We really don't want to make the announcement Monday. We really want to make it right now and rub it in. That's what we really want to do, because we are a piece of organization. Now we really want to run it right now, but we'll wait. We'll wait just because dude got a lot of fans, he got a lot of supporters, and he's made us a lot of money. But we don't care about him making a lot of money. We care about him making a lot of money, but hey, we made him some money too, so F him. But we really want to stick it to him, but he got a lot of supporters, a lot of people on his side, and then we also have our remaining employees, and we want to make our remaining employees think we care about them. So let's wait till Monday and act like, so we can seem like we have some compassion. They didn't give a damn about none of that. They was just like, hey, Shannon Sharpe has been fired. This is why I can't stand ESPN. This is why I stopped watching ESPN years ago. I stopped watching them years ago. I do not watch it. I don't like nothing that much where I will accept somebody being disrespectful towards me and my community. ESPN and TNT ain't no different when they hire people like Charles Barkley to throw his own people under the bus consistently. They ain't no different. They hire Fox Sports the same way. They'll give their black employees latitude. Basically, what they do is, let me take this picture down for a moment. So basically what they do is ESPN, TNT, Fox, all of them, what they'll do is they'll hire black talking heads, right? Commentators, pundits, analysts, And they'll say, hey guys, they'll hire them for their personality to bring in, the viewers and all of that kind of stuff. and they'll have producers to bring the stories in. They got producers who bring these stories. And you know what color these producers are usually are, right? They bring the stories in and say, hey guys, because this is what we want to do, this is the narrative, boom. Every now and then, somebody go off script. And when they go off script, they reel them back in, slap them across the head. Now you listen here, boy. That ain't what you do around here. Now we're gonna give you a suspension for a week. Now that's your first warning. I'm gonna give you a 2-week suspension. That's your first warning. Don't do it no more. And next thing you know, they going in extra heavy on the brothers. Most of these dudes, when they talk down, when they talk about the athletes and stuff, they're extremely critical of black athletes. Extremely critical of black athletes. When it comes to any other athletes, I don't care what their ethnicity are, they try to pretend. They try to pretend that they are being fair and impartial. They try to pretend. And when they say a little something, they don't dig and they don't keep going at it. Like, for example, I don't know, let's say you have a basketball player who was a number 1 pick, and things didn't turn out too well. He didn't necessarily live up to some people's expectations. So they will allow, as long as this guy is black, they will allow this guy to wage a personal war against this black basketball player, this young black basketball player. They'll let him wage a personal war and do this for years and years and years, and they'll say nothing about it. Now, you think he could have got away with that if he had been going at a white guy like that? You think that? You think he could have got away with that? Hell no, he wouldn't have gotten away with it, and you know that. He wouldn't have gotten away with it with no other race. But they allow them to throw black people under the bus with consistency. So what I surmise is that must be the way the upper management thinks. And that must be what they think of us. If they don't have any protections in place for us, if they won't reel their employees in when they start like disparaging black athletes and making it personal, if they don't do anything about it, that means that they cool with it. And silence is complicity. That's right. Silence is complicity. That means if somebody is doing something and they're doing something egregious and you're silent about it, you're not saying anything about it, that means you agree with it. That means you don't have a problem with it. Because when we have a problem with something, we speak our minds. When we have a problem with something, at least those of us who got some balls, those of us who got some heart, those of us who got some integrity, we speak on it. We say something about it. So when we have a problem with something, we're going to let people know. So obviously ESPN don't have a problem with when these guys are throwing their own people under the bus. None of the other personalities that they hire do stuff like that to their own people. None of them do that. None of them. They hire the black analyst, the pundit, the commentator to bring the drama and to speak on Black issues that they can't speak on, because if they did, they would tell on themselves. Am I cooking? I don't believe Chad is going to take the job. I don't think he's taking the job. I don't think he's taking the job. I don't think it's smart for him to take the job. I think he has way more opportunities with what him and Shannon got going on. And because they are so popular, they don't have to go to ESPN. There is competition out there. They can go to Fox, they can go to ABC, NBC, CBS. They can go get money. He can go somewhere else and get some money. So they don't have to go to ESPN. And let me tell you something else. ESPN ain't all that cool anyway. ESPN ain't live. ESPN ain't been really dope since Stuart Scott died. ESPN it ain't the sports authority it used to be. It don't have the same type of respect because it don't have any integrity. I'd rather watch Ticket TV. That's right, I said it. I'd rather watch Ticket TV right here on YouTube. It's dudes on YouTube that have better takes on sports than what you can see on ESPN. Yeah, they don't want you to know that part. They sick about that. I'm surprised they ain't tried to buy him out yet. Well, they probably tried to buy him out. I would say to any of these guys that got their sports channels, don't do it. Reconsider. Don't do it. They tried to buy me out a few times, fam. Not a few times, actually several times. They tried to buy me out. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool over here. We good. You know why I won't sell, fam? You know why I won't take the money? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to silence my voice. They're trying to take control of the narrative. See what I'm saying? If they get me out of the way, they can shape the narrative any way they want to shape it. They get me out of the way and some of these other cats out the way that are doing Black media, they can continue to control the narrative. See, we control the narrative with our own thing, by having our own channels, by having our own way of communication, by being the sole proprietor of our own thing. We control the narrative. We don't have to wait to go on ESPN to say something, to speak on how we feel about something. I ain't got to wait for CNN to call me and invite me on. You know, I don't have to go do a promo tour and go on a bunch of networks and all of that stuff. I can log in right here on Willie D Live and go viral right now. If I wanted to, I could say something right now and go viral if I wanted to. You know, because really most of the stuff that go viral, all you got to do is think about it, fam. All you got to do is say something inflammatory. Boom, it's going viral, just like that. You're going to go viral. So I could do that all day long. That's easy. But that ain't the type of channel that I want to run. But I'm just saying that, yeah, they come at me all the time. They done came at me at least at least asking, oh, we want to buy, they want to try to buy me out. Or they'll be like, we want to partner with you. Nah, they want to give you a bunch of money and then say that you're partners, but then take the control. Uh-uh. Ain't happening. Ain't happening, baby. Yeah. So for me, it's bigger than just the money for me because we have to be able to control our own narrative. We have to be able to shape our own images. We can't sit back and hope that ESPN do the right thing or hope that ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CNN, MSNBC do the right thing by us. We already know that they all have shown a propensity not to do the right thing by us. So we have to the honest is on us to do right by us. The honest is on us to reshape our image, to control our own narrative. And that's why I ain't never selling. They ain't got enough money. How much money you need? You know what I'm saying? I just, hey, if they offered $100 million, $100 million, I ain't gonna spend $100 million, man. I'm not gonna spend $100 million. I don't need $100 million. I'm cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't need $100 million. I don't. You know, it's nice, but I don't need $100 million. I live a very modest life. You know what I'm saying? I got nice stuff or whatever, but I'm not this dude that's. I don't need a lot of stuff. You know. I barely even wear any type of jewelry. I don't need a lot of stuff. On point say we don't even support TV One and OWN. You sure about that? And if we are not supporting them, why aren't we supporting them? Perhaps some of us don't believe that they got the programming that we want to watch. Perhaps that programming is not up to par. What we want to watch. Both of those networks has been around for a long time. Um, perhaps the programming is not on par. I don't know. And are you sure? Are you sure they're really black owned? Yeah, because everything look black ain't black. Curtis Clay, what up? Sean Lunatic. Sup, Alicia the Libra. Freddie Roper. Yeah, if I was Chad Ochocinco, I wouldn't trust ESPN. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Yeah, Shannon was one, but it was also a shakedown, and everybody knew it was a shakedown. So just off that alone, ESPN should say, you know what, man, we knew it was a shakedown. Shannon, you did what billions of men throughout history has done. You allowed yourself to be weak behind the coochie. So, I was weak behind some coochie just yesterday, man. So, considering everything, man, we're gonna give you one more chance, bro. We're gonna give you one more chance, man. Shannon, don't blow it, man. Don't blow it. You know what I'm saying, fam? Like they acting like they all, they acting like ESPN they're acting like there's some type of moral compass. Man, well, ESPN is owned by Disney. Disney, have y'all seen the stuff that Disney show lately? Disney is an abomination. Have y'all seen the stuff that's shown on Disney now? Are you sitting and watching these cartoons? Are y'all watching these cartoons that are on Disney? Like, just take a minute and just peep game for a minute. Man, there's all kinds of stuff on there that you'll look at and be, that's disgusting. Disney ain't no moral compass. It's so many people that work for Disney that's been accused of sexual assault. And a lot of them are still there. Some of them lost their jobs and got rehired. Some of them got accused of messing with kids and got rehired. Some of them been accused and ain't never been fired. If I was Chad Ochocinco, I'd be very skeptical of ESPN. It sound good, man, but everything glitter ain't gold, man. Everything shiny ain't a nickel. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it. What I would trust is whatever I got going on, whatever's working, whatever has worked for me, that's what I would trust. I would trust the tried and proven concept. He got proof of concept with that nightcap. They got proof of concept. That's what I would trust. I would trust the concept that I already have. You're just not joining, fam, with having a discussion about the ESPN replacement for Shannon Sharpe. And it has emerged that Chad Ochocinco, his partner on Nightcap, is his new replacement, allegedly. So, but we do know Shannon Sharpe will not be part of the First Take family at ESPN this NFL season, which means that no matter what, ESPN is running out of time to find a suitable replacement. Back in April, Shannon stepped down from his role on First Take because he was sued for sexual assault and battery in Nevada civil court. After this lawsuit was settled in July, ESPN announced that it's moving on from Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, who was debate partners with Stephen A. Smith, admitted that he was upset with ESPN about the move that they made public on the same week his brother Sterling got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's already apologized to his brother several times. And you know what? I saw an excerpt of the Hall of Fame ceremony for Sterling Sharpe. And let me say this with my hands. I ain't got no problem with that. Sterling Sharpe is a class act. Class act. Sterling Sharpe said that his entire life he's been playing for an audience of one. And that one is Shannon Sharpe, because he's Shannon's big brother. He said that, he always had to be strong for Shannon. Even when his granddaddy died, he couldn't cry because Shannon was crying. And he didn't want Shannon to see him cry. When his daddy died, he said he couldn't cry because he didn't want Shannon to see him crying. He had to be strong for Shannon. Man, man, I was about to say that kind of big brother I want, but I already got my big brother. My big brother ain't do all of that. Hell, I was like the big brother, my big brother is 1 year older than me. But everybody's always thought that I was the big brother, right? Because I was the defender of the family, I was the go-getter, go out there and get it and come back with it, dude, I was the man behind the door. Even though I was a young boy, I was the one that nobody come knocking on that door trying to come through that door and mess with anybody, because they knew it was going to be some trouble. But Shannon's brother, man, Sterling, man, that dude, I was really impressed with him. And at the end of his ceremony, he talked about how he and Shannon were the first brothers inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And he wanted to make sure that one more thing happened. He wanted another first to happen. And that other first was that Shannon have 2 yellow coats. The yellow coat symbolizes that a player has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he took off his jacket, his yellow jacket, and gave it to Shannon. He said, "I want you to have it." Boy, that man, boy, that was strong. That was strong. So, man, yeah, a lot of respect for that. A lot of respect. I hope things work out for all the parties involved. All parties involved, man, because we got bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? It's so much happening in the world, and we really like right now, man, you got a maniac in the White House. You got crime at an all-time high. You got AI replacing human beings. Man, it's so, I don't want to bring nobody down, but I want everybody to be alert and know that it ain't gonna change by just staying in one place. It's not gonna change by being idle. We're gonna have to put some work in. You got to go to work. You got to get. I don't like to say panic. I don't like to panic. You know what I'm saying? But you do have to get active. You have to operate with a sense of urgency, and not take for granted that somebody else is going to bail you out. Don't wait for a woman or a man to bail you out. You got to bail yourself out. What's up, Freddie? Terry Russian, what's up, Terry? Appreciate you. Steven Sullivan. Steven Sullivan, where you get that from? I'm not a gentleman. I'm not a mother. Where you get that from? All right, full transparency. So I wrote this song called "I'm Not a Gentleman" years ago. But this is something y'all don't know. This is actually something in my book. I'll tell y'all this. It's something I wrote in the book. I'll tell y'all this. So my kid's mom is actually the one who gave me the idea to write the song. Because I don't remember exactly what it was, but she wanted me to do something or whatever, and I didn't do it. I didn't want to do it. And she was like, "You need to write a song called I'm Not a Gentleman." And I was like, ding, 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 ding. And so I just thought about all of the wildest, craziest things that an ungentleman-like guy would do or not do. And I came up with I'm Not a Gentleman. And now I ain't gonna tell y'all the other part. I'm gonna say the other part for the book, but there's a part in there about Queen Latifah, and Queen Latifah is on the song. I used a piece of one of her songs, and her voice is in there. And so, in the book, I explained the first time me and Queen Latifah met after the song came out. And so, yeah, that's for the book. But yeah, that song. But here's the deal. So I wrote the song really as a tongue-in-cheek type song. It was really a tongue-in-cheek type song, because if you listen to it, you got to know that if a dude was really that way, like this is a dude that a woman better run from, like every woman better run from, because ain't no way a dude can be that ungentlemanlike. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I ain't giving you my coat if you're cold. I said, yeah, I got to go listen to it. But I listened to the song. Last time I listened to it was probably 2 years ago or something. I can't remember, but yeah. But just so you know, though, I am a gentleman. I am a gentleman, and if there's a woman that I feel like don't deserve for me to treat her like a lady, she don't deserve for me to exhibit gentleman-like qualities, I just wouldn't be with that woman. See what I'm saying? I wouldn't waste my time with her. And any woman that don't appreciate being treated like a lady, if she don't appreciate a gentleman, then she gonna get the opposite of that. And the opposite of that ain't pretty at all. In this new age of woman, over the last 20-something years, I have noticed that a lot of women don't appreciate gentleman qualities. I've noticed that. And all of them women that don't appreciate gentleman qualities end up in pretty bad situations. If a man ain't gonna treat you like a queen, like he ain't gonna treat you like what you with him for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's not gonna like show you that basic, just fundamental respect, I mean, some women don't even get human respect. They don't, damn girlfriend, wife, they don't even get just basic human respect from their dude. So what you with them for? Don't make me unretire the cleanup man role now. Nah, I ain't got time for that. Ain't got time for it, fam. I'm on something totally different. Fellas, let me explain something to you. If you're with a woman or you encounter a woman who don't respect you opening doors, don't respect you, a man, just doing manly things. Uh, she don't respect you. She don't respect a sweet card from you or some flowers. Not all the time. Flowers are expensive, but don't expect some. Don't respect. You bringing her some flowers. That's a woman too hard to me. That's too hard of a woman for me. And I ain't got time to try to soften her up. That's gonna take some time. And by the time she softens up, I might be jaded. So she gonna have to go figure that out. She got to go figure it out, and then perhaps, if I'm still available and interested, we might be able to do something. But I ain't trying to soften nobody up. Man, it takes too much time. Same thing for women. Women, y'all better stop trying to soften these dudes up and trying to stop hooking up with these criminals and trying to looking at the good side and all that shit. You're gonna end up raising these kids by yourself. Straight up. It's dudes out there that are already ready to do what you need them to do. They're already responsible. They already love the idea of family. They're already they already got the horn behind them. They're ready for you now. But no, that's too much like, right? You chasing curly hair. you you chasing the ball, you chasing the tennis shoes. Yeah. Anyway, man, I didn't mean to go on this tribe. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Nubia, what's up? Joshua Mars, what's up, YB? Vicky, what's up, Vicky Slaughter? Yvonne, Three Sides God TV, Two Queens, One King. Three Sides God's TV. Three Sides God TV. See, that sounds like somebody who would take their time to name their children. Like they will make sure that they know the meaning of the child's name before they name them. Besides God TV. That's a thinker. Gene Mark St. Louis. John Mark, I'm tripping. John Mark St. Louis. Roderick Allen. What's up, Tyler, Texas? Boo Hartwheel. Yeah. Daryl Grace, what's up? Roxanne Thompson, do you live about the racist Russian, the racist Russian in Cincinnati? Do I know about him? No, I hadn't heard that story. K. Jink, all money ain't good money. Kevin Lucas, Orange Juice. Kevin's talking about Orange Juice Jones. The rain give a woman everything, and she still did this. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned. I need to give Oren a call. I need to give him a call. Yeah, I've been meaning to hit him up. Mark Odom, Magic Wheel of Crypto. What's up? What's up? What's the next crypto gem? I'll tell you in a few weeks. I see what the market doing right now, and it seemed like only Bitcoin is really performing well. So I'm being a little hesitant right now with the market. I'm really kind of waiting. I'm kind of waiting for a big push. I think we're getting close. We're getting close to a big push, and boy, and when that happens, yeah, that's gonna be big. Jermaine Jordan. What's up, Sid? Sid Reed. Tarver Wooten, Saginaw, Michigan. First time I went to Saginaw, Michigan. Whoa. That's the first time I ever seen anybody with walk around like citizens walk around with guns on their hips. I was coming out of a convenience store and dude walked in, had a gun on his hip. I was like, well, damn. That's two things I remember about Saginaw. It was cold, and it was a dude people were walking around with guns on their hips. And I'm from Texas, so that was strange for me to see. Yeah, well, um, give me a thumbs up, fam, if you think ESPN has really taken a step to hire uh, Chad Ochocinco. If you really think that they're gonna do it or they did it, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, Ocho ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do it. I know I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I know the value of ownership, and I also know how corporations will give you the axe. These corporations, once they hit you with the golden cuffs, they control your image, your likeness. anything come out your mouth, you got to always think about them before you can't even have your own opinion anymore. You know, it it might look like to the outside world that you have your own opinion, but that ain't your opinion. That's the opinion of your bosses. Because the moment you say something that's inconsistent with what they believe, they're gonna check you. They're gonna get you back right, or they're gonna get you up out of there. And that is the caveat with working with these corporations. You don't get to really, you don't own yourself. Everything you got to think about them. Y'all heard Stephen A. Stephen A. said when he wake up, the first thing he do is think about how he can make his bosses some money, how he can make some money for his bosses. And then the second thing he thinks of is how he can get some of it. I'd be damned if I'm gonna be waking up every day. The first thing I think about is somebody else's company. That's too much pressure. I don't want that pressure. That's too much pressure. If I'm gonna be doing all that, imagine if I woke up every day and the first thing I thought about was my own company. Something I can build that's going to, when that energy that I put into that thinking that I'm doing, all of the planning and plotting and working, if I put that into my own legacy, my company, instead of somebody else's company. So yeah, if I were to work with a company that was similar to ESPN, it would be my brand merging with their brand, but I would not be under them. I would have a contract. I would not be an employee because they're not going to control me. You can forget that. Even the people that I do business with, when I do business with somebody, I already know they solid. I know the company is solid because, well, in most cases, the company's going to be solid because you got to know what comes with doing business with Willie D. You know, Willie D is going to hold his own. He's going to stand 10 toes down, and you're not going to be able to, punk him. Ain't going to be none of that. So you know what come with that. So when I do business with companies, I already know they did a thorough check on my background. They know who I am. They know what they're getting into. So it ain't going to be no surprises. So, because I'm not going to be doing a deal with somebody and be tap dancing and tiptoeing around and walking on eggshells with my words. That ain't happening. This freedom, boy, it feels good. That's my time, fam. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. A few more shout outs before I shut it down. Neek Joe, what up? PYT. Marcus B. YB. Seven. Tava. All right. Cowboy cool. Rich Sky interviews. Gaming with June. And that's my time, fam. Appreciate y'all. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Got more videos coming up later today. No more talk.